Are you ready to listen to a podcast?
Here comes the Playhouse Podcast, thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices.
Find, subscribe, and listen.
We've got email, we've got email.
All right, so we got this email last week, and I said, Olivia, we will help you out with this because it is unlike an email that we've ever gotten. All right, she says, thought you guys might get a laugh at this, but also have some advice on how to change my daughter's mind about quitting her job. She's 17, so she feels like life is over after what happened. She got a summer job at the beginning of summer. Now she's about to start school, and she was stocking the freezer at the back of her work, and her boss, who's 25 and she's had a massive crush on, heard her pass gas. And as she turned around to see his face, she felt like life was over. She came home and she said that she wants to quit her job. My husband and I want to convince her that it's okay. It was just a fart. Don't worry about it. He's 25. He'll get over it. She says she can't show her face at work ever again.
I would quit that job too.
You
There's a lot.
would?
There are a lot of jobs out there. I would quit this in a heartbeat.
You pass gas in front of me an average of 4 times a show.
No, yeah, but I don't care anymore. Like, she's got a lot to live for. She's only 17. I'm almost dead.
I can't even imagine how I would have felt at 17 to pass gas in front of my boss, let alone somebody I thought was a smoke show. I remember
I'd be up and quitting that job in a heartbeat.
I think I was maybe like 12 and I was wearing overalls in school and the back of the overalls got caught in my chair, and I remember leaning forward and it put so much pressure on my tummy and and Brandon DeShane was right behind me. And normally you can pretend like it was your chair and move it and be like, oh my God, this chair makes weird noises. Or was that my sneaker? What the heck? But you couldn't. Nothing made even close to the noise that my butt had made.
It didn't
and I
have
remember,
company, did it?
I was so close to going home and telling my mom I have to switch classes. I cannot
go to another school.
Yeah, we have to move to a different state.
So did Brandon ever say anything about it?
Nobody ever said anything.
That's
but
part of our society that sucks. People are afraid to call somebody out on a good fart.
His face said it all. Okay. And I guarantee if we called him today, he would remember that moment. It's like how I remember when Eric Pletton threw up his spaghetti lunch behind me in math class. You just hold on to those memories.
Yeah.
And I was mortified. And I remember Mom, I just want to go. Olivia, I think you should just let her quit.
Let her quit. I absolutely let her quit. There is 1,000 jobs out there right now.
I know. Everywhere is hiring. I would say, just to save face, you're not the one that has to go in there every single day and see this guy who
all he
look
sees
forward to seeing
is a fart.
All he sees is a giant fart when your daughter walks in. A fart with a ponytail and a uniform on. That's it.
So we're in agreement here.
We're never in agreement, but this is I guarantee if Reagan came home and she's like, my boss, that is so hot. He heard me fart in the back and I am so mortified. Don't make me go back there. Have her get a job somewhere else.
I'd be perfectly fine with that.
I don't even think you should do that. And I know it's a good life lesson to put your 2 weeks in, but
you can't put the genie back in the bottle.
If she has to put her 2 weeks in, just stay. 2 weeks is going to be terrible.
Imagine being a 17-year-old girl and you got this job and you're making some money and the guy that's your manager is pretty good looking. It's kind of hot. And you go into the cooler one day and all of a sudden you cut just a juicy one, a ripe one.
Oh my
and he looks
God.
at you and you're like, I want to quit this job. Mom, Dad, can I quit this job? What's your take on this? Now, I want to say good morning to Cliff. And I know he couldn't call, but he said, the very first job I had when I was 17, I lost one finger in a PTO accident.
Yeah.
You know what that is? That's the power takeoff on the back of a tractor.
Okay.
You can literally, if you're close to that, and I've been around enough of these, and farmers that are missing digits, you can die by getting caught up in one of these.
Okay.
He said, I didn't quit. So I'm like, all right, well, you put that in perspective.
Okay.
That poor dude lost a finger. She just caught a fart.
But she's 17.
And now
the
she wants to
world is
quit.
over. The world is over. If you work with somebody that's super hot, that's all you think about before you get to work.
Here's the
you probably
problem.
do your hair and your makeup just for them.
He went out to dinner with some friends or have some happy hour drinks that night. And he's like, guys, this girl that I work with, she was in the closet and she was pulling out some celery. And next thing you know,
So Dylan had texted, don't let her quit over this. Odds are he thought it was hilarious and forgot about it already. This one came in from 0963. I had a female coworker let one slip while laughing during a meeting. Obviously, we all heard it, but everyone played it off. She didn't quit. Chin up, no more beans. I still can't get over that woman that was on the stand during the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. That was insanity.
That hardwood bench has no give.
She scared herself, claimed it in front of millions of people watching, and then went on with her witness testimony.
She was so composed.
Holy cow. That was crazy to watch. So, Olivia, I would say let her quit. Honestly, just go back to when you were 17.
Most of our listeners are saying, no way. You got to make her sit this one out.
That's because it's not them.
Yeah.
They're not in this situation.
So I broke my neck a little over 2 weeks ago. This is taking forever to heal, by the way.
I do have sympathy for you. I think that it's a terrible thing that happened, completely avoidable and preventable. Yeah, so
pretty stupid. But I have been coming up with a lot more creative answers.
That's good.
When it happened, somebody had pulled up in our cul-de-sac the other day, like one of my son's friends' dads. What happened to you? I go, the parachute didn't open until 200 feet from the ground. He's like, oh, and then my wife just shakes her head. She's like, don't believe him.
You should go like this. What? Oh my God. Touch the phrase. What is this?
The best is like my wife and I will roll up on some people. They'll be like, how are you? And I'm like, really great, thanks. And then they look at you like, what?
I don't know why you make people feel uncomfortable for caring. Honestly,
it's a
like
great
sick.
moment. The only thing I've been able to do now, I miss lifting weights so bad. But all I've been able to do is ride my wife's Peloton. And I have gotten into the 60-minute rides, which are a lot of fun. But yesterday I did the 60-minute yacht rock ride with Jen, and it was pretty cool. And then I'm starting to get more and more into the riding, and I read this that Peloton, the company, is going to plan their third big round of layoffs. They're going to close down retail showrooms, and they're about to raise prices on their workout equipment next year.
Oh, man.
So during the pandemic, right, everybody got a Peloton because you couldn't leave the house and the gyms were closed and stuff like that. So people were thinking, all right, I'm going to spend my gym money on this bike and the subscription and everything like that. But apparently that craze is over. When you get dialed in on it, you get your favorite trainer. It's fun. It's a good time.
Is it like one of those things where you feel like you're friends with them?
Kind of.
And you're not? That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've never had this. I can watch TV, listen to the radio, listen to a podcast, whatever, and I never have a feeling like I'm their friend, but I feel like Jen Sherman and I are friends.
Yeah.
And I feel like Dennis Morton and I are friends. I really do. It's very odd. When I hit that
it's like
screen...
the guy that's friends with his Alexa. That's weird to say.
No, that's even weirder because she'll talk back. But it is weird, though, that I listen for my name if I take a live class. I listen
what
to see...
What does that do for you?
I don't know.
You get a high off it?
I don't know.
JJ.
Remember the time my wife thought she heard her name and I had to break her heart telling her it wasn't her?
Yeah, that's really sad.
I think it would be one day. And here's the weird part, is I'll have to wait and I'll have to go back and take the class on demand to hear them say my name, but I'll get it on there one day.
Okay.
And then I'll prove to all of you that I can get my name on a recorded device. Because that never happens.
Bail. So a thief in San Francisco getting creative and trying to really tug at the heartstrings of the people that he almost robs. And he's leaving notes on cars trying to get people to send him money via PayPal, Bitcoin, or Cash App. Just so he doesn't steal anymore.
I was actually a little scared, a little rattled. I didn't know if they were going to come back to break into my car or anyone else's car. It was something I had to consider every time I came to work, and actually just adjusting the way I parked and where I parked. So it did affect me, and it still does.
It's actually kind of genius.
It almost sounds like a threat, though. The note says, I don't want to steal anymore, but I do have bills. Can you please help me? With all of their information, what a dummy. How many times do I say these are...
Hey, you can start a PayPal or a Cash App completely anonymous.
And there's no way to trace it back to you. Really?
Serious.
So the police can't get involved and trace your PayPal back to your bank account.
But are you doing anything illegal here?
You're threatening people that if they don't give you money, you're going to steal their stuff.
I don't think you are. I think this is pretty genius. And this guy might not even be a crook. He might just have figured out a way for you to give him money for no reason at all.
I would love to talk to people that don't realize that there are jobs out there. You literally drive down a busy
They know. They just want money by doing nothing.
That's my point. I want to know why you turn to a life of crime when you know that there are jobs out there.
This is criminal. I don't know that they're doing anything wrong.
He has been. Or
how do you know? How do you know it's them that's been doing all the thievery?
I don't want to steal anymore. Are you not listening?
Kat, I could steal a pen from this company right now, and I could go put 1,000 of these flyers out there saying, I don't want to steal anymore. Give me $10 via my Cash App. And I don't think there's anything illegal about that.
You know what? The next time you stick up for a thief, you're going to get one of these
I just think
right
it's
to the
kind of
face.
genius. Are you threatening me?
I don't know. Is it in the wording? Maybe.
Yes, that one actually was. That was actually in the wording.
I did.
I don't, at this point in my life, go to a party and pick up a cup that somebody else has drank out of and use it as my cup. I don't try and sneak into sporting events anymore. I don't bring a flask into a baseball game because I don't want to pay $8 for a beer. I'm not a wealthy man, but I've never once in my life bought clothing and left the tags on it knowing I was just going to wear it the one time and then return it after the weekend.
You know, it could be worse. I don't do it with stuff like swimsuits or can you return underwear? I didn't know if you could return underwear.
Boy, I would say that if that package is open or if you buy it like off the hanger.
Yeah. I wonder if you can return underwear.
Listen, where would you return? Where would you buy nice enough underwear that you would return it, Vicky?
Well, they have nice ones at Target. They have like $13 pair of underwear.
What if you get to the counter and you go to return that underwear and they give it the sniff test?
Ish.
What if they do that? Is that out of line?
They would regret it.
If I was to buy a pair of boxers at American Eagle, and I brought them back, and they were still on the little hanger, they were the flannel boxers.
Right.
Is it wrong for them to give it just a quick sniff?
You can tell if underwear was worn. Okay, so the last thing that I brought back, I had to go get this like salmon colored. It was a beautiful Calvin Klein dress from somewhere that rhymes with Schmacy's, and I paid for it. And
how much?
I had $86. Okay. And then I had another contender at home. So I had bought that one, brought it home, tried on both, decided to wear the salmon one for an event that I was emceeing. And then I was like, listen, I wore it for 70 minutes. I'm going to bring it back. And so I had Derek concoct this like big story. And he goes, they didn't even ask me. They just said, all right, anything wrong with it? And he said, no. I didn't spray perfume on it. It was in great shape. So
I could only imagine doing this with maybe a suit. Like if I ever got if I got out of radio and I had to have like a killer suit and I bought it off the rack.
Okay.
I could think about wearing that for like an interview and then returning it, knowing I'd never have to wear it again.
What is the difference between that and my salmon dress? Not one thing.
Because I've never done it. And you did.
But you said you would do that.
Like, you telling me you never thought about shooting someone, but have you done it? That's the difference.
No and no.
But you did. You shot that dress, and then you returned it.
It's an analogy. And I don't feel guilty.
I can't believe people are still doing this. So my wife and I run into a couple the other night, and my wife's like, hey, this is a great dress. It's a great shirt. And she's like, I know, great, thanks. You know, I really like it. And Trish goes, oh, you left this tag on. She goes, no, I'm returning it Monday. Yeah. And I was like, wow.
So a good friend won't say anything. They'll just tuck it in for you. Unless it's one of those stickers that says like 2XL on the back. Then you rip it off for your friend.
You've been in this position, right?
Probably once, yes. I have done it before.
And like it was a very important thing, like a dress you couldn't find yourself wearing at another time, I'm assuming?
It was actually a budget. I was like, I shouldn't wear it, but I need to wear something.
Yeah.
So I just purchased it and returned it.
Whenever I do this, I make Derek return it because I feel like I'll be embarrassed. And I have him come up with this like crazy story. My wife works out of town, or, you know, we come up with these crazy situations that are still believable.
But do they ever ask why? They just take it, right? You don't have to have it. Yeah.
Make up the stories just because, just in case, and then he gets all flustered and forgets.
So, like, when you guys do this, are you really paranoid that you're going to get makeup or spill a drink or something on it?
You're just very careful, right?
Yes, you have to be very careful.
Okay, so what I'm realizing is that most women have done this. Here's what I'd really like to know is what was the last event you did it for? Cat.
The other day, you were like, oh, I wonder what period cramps feel like.
Never once in my life have I ever.
I said, well, sir.
Listen, I'll be the first to tell you that it can't be as bad as y'all make it out. Now, listen.
Wow.
I'm just going to be scientific for a minute here, okay? just don't hate on me because I'm not trying to push anyone's buttons.
Yeah, explain
But
it.
men are scientifically programmed to have a higher pain threshold.
That's impossibly
it's
wrong.
Absolutely right.
It's completely wrong.
The male of any species has a higher pain threshold.
No.
That is an actual scientific fact.
I can tell you that the pain I've gone through with my surgeries, there's no freaking way that you could handle it.
I've been doing the show for the better part of 2 weeks with a broken neck. I came in one day after, literally less than 48 hours after I broke my neck, and I was here.
You didn't have to. I'm going to put out the text messages.
You stayed at home with a belly ache.
I had strep throat.
God.
And you absolutely did not have to come in. We had text exchanges where I said it was completely unnecessary for you to come in.
I dislocated my shoulder one day and came back and ran all the controls after that, every single day after that, for years.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Were you here when you had your baby? Nope. Were you here for any of your surgeries or the day after any of them? Nope. Extended time off. 3 months, 6 months, 28 months that one time.
I never took any of that time off. I was back in action almost immediately. But these guys, I love when guys do the period cramp simulators because they are honest, and I appreciate that.
It kind of like relaxes for a minute and then it starts again.
It's awful. It's terrible.
It's terrible.
It just makes you want to keel over, you know what I mean? I feel like throwing up.
God.
Yeah, your like whole body contracts. And,
Yeah, you look like you got your period.
Yeah, sucks. Let's do 9.
You're connected to the same machine.
It just feels like a mild cramp, to be honest with you.
Sorry to get you.
I can't do that.
This is an 8. So wait, did we confirm that you'd be calling in sick?
Yes.
Literally nobody
Oh,
cares.
gee. Where do they find these guys? This is
No, I truly
obnoxious.
appreciate their honesty because if they had fought through it, but secretly they know in their head what women go through, I can say with
Trying to
all
make these
honesty
women
that I've
feel
never had bad cramps like that. I've had friends. My sister had debilitating cramps. She could not go to school some days. And why would you want to go to school if you can't, or work when you can't focus because you don't feel well? And so I just wanted to put some things in perspective.
The same people
for you.
that stay home and they stub their toe or they have a hangnail or
I
something
don't
like
believe
that.
I think that it can get really bad. Like the snake bite I had the other night when I thought I ate something shifty. It was bad.
Because you got a little bit of poops.
That wasn't it. It wasn't even that part of it.
Any kind of that cramp can be cured with a big glass of water. You know that.
Okay.
Or a little cup of Pedialyte.
All right.
All of it can be
You know what
cleared
I'm
up
going to
with
do?
that.
I'm going to rent one of these simulators.
You know what?
We're going to put shit
That's
through
fine.
it.
I don't, because listen, a banana and a little Pedialyte, and next thing you know, you're fine.
The Playhouse Podcast is made possible thanks to Bradshaw and Bryan Law Offices. Catch the live show weekdays from 5:30 to 9 on 104.7 KCLD. Now, share this with a friend.